Hello, Biafrans. Are you aware that the Fulani foot soldiers have finally arrived in Nigeria to take over that country as it was prophesied by our able leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Are you aware of that? Now, in case you have never watched the video and you have never heard this for the first time, here is an opportunity. Please watch the video. Attention, please.
Have you seen postings from the Fulanis who say they want to come and take over Nigeria? Have you heard the governor of Benue, Bauchi, who said they have invited all Fulanis to come to Nigeria? Have you, and they say all they do is monetize. So I believe, unfortunately, it's my personal belief, that Nigeria should split. It's going to be, it's a hot cake discussion because many people are paying lip service. We are still far. The heading you put on earlier was that unity beyond tribal lines. I do not believe that we have a tribal problem. What we have is a religious problem. And that religious problem can be given in just 2 or 3 examples. There's Boko Haram. What are they about? They want to dip the Quran in the ocean. From time they wanted to Islamize Nigeria, including our former president, who it is public knowledge in the public space that he was the chairman or the negotiating personnel for Boko Haram, although he quickly denied. But what has come out of it? What did our Muslim leaders say when, what was her name, Dorothy in Sokoto, the girl that was killed in Sokoto?
Yes.
What did they say? Nothing. We need to first solve our religious problem, remove religion.
Deborah, you should say.
Okay, Deborah, yes. There's a case in Maiduguri. Why would a man that was defending himself was told to run away? Why was that? Because a sect wants to take over the religion in Nigeria. What happened in, was it Ekiti, where in a church, they went there and killed people. So the problem we have is religion, and it has to do with Christians, pastors who can't talk, who do not have the liver to talk truth, to not just power, to religion. There are people in the north who preach every day that the rest of us are infidels. So,
but is it a function of, or is it a malfunctioning of democracy, the religion or religious question?
The religious question is a function of greed.
But the question is, well, of course, it's your opinion.
Yes.
We'll put it out there. It's not the opinion of the station in that sense, because we're one indivisible nation, and the Constitution is very clear on our unity in that sense. But let's even piggyback on that. People have also argued that going our ways or our separate ways in that sense doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to be able to resolve our problems, because some of these problems are beyond endemic. So let's even say, come down south, even within states, you can see that, dichotomy. then you will now know, oh, I'm from this ethnic nationality as against this ethnic nationality. Look at what is going on in Rivers. We can go and go on and on. So do you think that division is really an answer if we want to take it to that extreme? That is not a conversation in that sense. How would that even solve any problem?
Okay, first, the biggest problem again is religion. We can resolve ethnic divisions. Pa Adebanjo died recently, and people came to Ijebu and they were singing Ijebu anthem. They want Ijebu state. And that Ijebu state will leave the Egbas. So the problem will always be there. What we need to do is discussion. But in the case of religion, where one religion says, take the Quran or I kill you.
So let's posit it, extremists of that religion.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of wonderful Muslims. Our president is a Muslim. Shatima Device is a Muslim. I can go on and on with a list of Muslim leaders in that sense, whether they're from the north or the south. So we're talking about extremists in this sense. Is that correct, sir?
But they have not been able, the moderate ones have not been able to call the extremists in Nigeria to order.
But even if we, if that question were to be debated to a logical conclusion of national unity and there's a consensus reached on that, the ethnic question will not be able to solve the more important question of where we're headed as a region in that sense of the word, because you've just talked about the Ijebu and the Egbas. Now there's a clamor for the establishment of an Ijebu state. Yes. The more important question would be, where are we headed as a nation or nation state, and what is the approach to getting us there in terms of a system of government? That is the more important question. And then all the others, either be it religion or ethnicity, may be solved along the line. Have we reached that point where we're clear about how to get to where we're headed?
I've lived in the United States for over 50 years, and there are many Nigerian tribes. You won't know except that they all say we are Nigerians. It is when we return home that there's clamor. Personally, again, I believe we should go use, is it the Swedish or Switzerland, where all states are autonomous. If you look at the advantages of numbers, yes, we have defense. If the Southwest were to go on their own, their defense won't be like the Nigerian army. If the Southeast were to go alone, they may not get the same advantage of numbers and size from international relations. So my prescription is that the zones should be made independent.
So you're talking about restructuring.
Restructuring.
So let's build on that. I know that Lenesek Olusegun had raised this concern.
Yes.
In fact, under Muhammadu Buhari, I think it was the former governor of the Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai,
yes,
that led a committee on restructuring. In fact, it was so funny because I don't know whether it became political in that sense, because all of a sudden we seem not to know what restructuring means anymore. Everybody had a different version of what it means. So let's talk about restructuring as it was, yes, when we were in the regions.
Yes.
And so every zone controlling their resources.
Yes.
My question is, how far-reaching can that go?
It can go very far. Have you ever asked why it is that the Constitutional Conference of 2000 is it 2000 during
Former President Goodluck Jonathan.
yes. Why
National Confab.
The National
2014.
Confab. Even Olusegun was there.
Yeah.
All of them still say is the best that ever came out. Why has it been jettisoned till today? Bola Tinubu is our president. At the time, he probably supported the confab. Why is it? Again, it is my opinion that it has to do with religion.
So you're saying now, from your opinion and on good authority to the effect, because the question I wanted to ask, why is it difficult to restructure Nigeria even when there's an overwhelming clamor that may be our path to peace and prosperity? Why do you think it's hard? Because you are, by your age, you are one of our benefits of hindsight.
Yes.
You were there before we even became independent as a country. So you saw it all.
Yes.
And you saw the good and the bad and the ugly.
Yes.
Why do you think it's hard for any president to be bold enough? This president is kind of bold because his reforms are bold.
Yes.
They are hurting. Everybody's feeling the pain, and we're all clamoring that this is getting too much. So it's shown some boldness in certain things. Why do you think he's not bold enough, at least yet, to say let's restructure?
Because he needs the Hausa Fulani power to remain in the presidency. Because I would have thought the moment President Tinubu got to power, the first thing is to dust the confab and implement. But because there are interests that will not be served satisfactorily by the confab of, was it 2014?
2014, sir.
2014. It's all about interest. Bringing it forward. Why do you think most of our governors acquiesce to Fulani requests? I'm from Edo State. 14 people, herdsmen they call them, were in Urumi, and they saw that they had arms. What did the governor do? He quickly put a team together, went to the north to appease them. It won't happen again. No one has ever talked about people who have been disenfranchised, killed on their farms. How many people have we seen go to court, prosecuted for killing someone, people in the southwest, in the southeast? None. And it is open knowledge that all the people that were caught killing from the Fulani side were never prosecuted. The ones that were caught by the police were released by the police. So it's a bigger picture, and what continues to ring in my head is the fact that when I was growing up, I heard of Uthman Danfodio and his followers insisting that it may take 200 years, but they must dip the Quran in the ocean.
Well,
so in your own view, we're in a catch-22 situation.
Yes.
So what would it take, to break the ice, so to speak?
What it would take is either the Yugoslavian system, Yugoslavia, what's the name? Czechoslovakia, there's the Czech Republic. Nobody died.
Well, it sounds like a long walk to freedom. I must always posit that we have very great Fulani people,
Yes,
very great Hausa people. So I want to say that I'm sure you're referring to the extremists
yes,
who have given a bad name, just like we have extremists across everywhere around our country. But let's talk about something as we begin to wind down, and that has to do with, someone said, and I don't know whether you agree, so I'm asking you, do you agree, and what do you make of the statement? They said the way the colonial masters, again, we're going back, so let's not blame our colonial masters, but programming is a strong thing. They said the colonial masters, the way the Nigeria is designed to constantly be unstable but will never fall. Does that hit you?
yes. I agree that even the Americans came to the north to ensure that a particular sect is in control of Nigeria. So I agree that there are Western unseen hands in the way Nigeria is run, just like in Burkina Faso, who is fighting to make sure that Westerners does not derail them from progressing.
And so as we move forward, the Afenifere, recently had a memorial lecture before the burial of the late elder statesman, and proposed some form of reforms through a study of what the late elder statesman himself, nationalist Obafemi Awolowo, had concluded to be the way forward, of how Nigeria, as a heterogeneous nation, can be governed. What do you propose to be, the approach to get this document through, for a buy-in, to secure a buy-in of the National Assembly as a way forward?
There's a problem. That problem has become a major obstacle. And that problem is Babangida left government. He dribbled everybody. Then Abdul Salam came in, opened the road to politicking. Nobody believed him. So what you have are criminals, because the original politicians who wanted to bring Nigeria forward were afraid of wasting their money, losing their money in politics. So the only people who came in right after, who responded to Abdul Salam's
call
were 419ers, cocaine pushers.
Well,
seriously. And so even Ayim said it, that in his Senate, that a preponderance of the senators in that, was it the 8th Senate or 7th Senate, were criminals.
Those are very weighty words, sir.
That is what...
Those are elected representatives who had served Nigeria at a particular point in time.
We wish... Okay, just land on your talk.
Because of them are not here.
Because those are weighty allegations that need to be substantiated.
It has been said in the open. You've never heard it?
We're listening to you, sir.
You've heard that most of our legislators, without meaning to disparage anybody, take one of them and find out his history.
Okay, I think that's a good place to anchor.
But we must add, Jeffrey, that we must continue to have a sense of optimism as far as Nigeria is concerned, that indeed there must be a pathway forward where all of the federating units can come to a consensus about how Nigeria can move forward.
All right, you guys have watched the video, right? If you ask me, I will say this is a welcome development. Well, however they want to rule the country, Biafrans are no longer part of that country. If the Fulani like, let them Islamize that country called Nigeria, because we, the Biafrans, we have left them behind. Biafra is our nation. Nobody can deny the fact. All we are waiting is for international recognition. Then the rest will become history. I'm urging the well-meaningful Biafrans is to stand firm and stay focused. Don't compromise. Let us speak with one accord, because Biafra is a done deal. My people, if you are just coming across to my channel for the first time, please do well to touch a hand for subscribe button, like and spread this video. Let this video go viral. And do well to turn on the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video like this, you'll be the first person to be notified. My people, I'm only a messenger. I come in peace. Till next time, see you in my next video. Bye for now.